Hello, this is an overview of the elementary standards-based report card to support parents in understanding their child's report card, which will be coming home the week of December 13th. So for trimester one for the 21-22 school year, our first trimester ended December 3rd. Report cards will be sent home with students the week of December 13th. And along with report cards will also be included any progress notes for any students with disabilities and English learners. Just looking ahead to the rest of the school year, trimester two ends in March, and trimester three is the end of the year in June. So the standards-based report card has been a work in progress at the elementary schools for the past several years. A team of teachers, coaches, and administrators has been working on updating our old report card, which was a generic report card for all elementary grades, into a grade-aligned standards-based document for each grade level. In 2019-20, we rolled out the report card for first grade. So if you have a current third grader, you have seen this report card for the past 2 years. Last year, 2020-21, we added the second grade report card. So again, if you have a current third grader, you've seen the report card for the past 2 years. And this year we are adding the third and fourth grade report cards. So this year, all students in grades 1 through 4 will be on the same trimester schedule with the same format of a standards-based report card. Some of the key features of the standards-based report card and why this was an important document to create, making it a tool for teachers and parents to communicate about students' progress in school include primarily that standards, comments, and goals are translated for every student into Spanish. Everything will appear on the report card in both English and Spanish. Grades are color coded to give parents a visual representation of their students' progress throughout the year. Grades are based on data that is being collected in the classrooms for each standard that is taught. And the standards that are included on the report card are aligned with our current curriculum framework standards that are being taught at each grade level, including English language arts, mathematics, science and technology, engineering, history and social sciences, digital literacy, physical education, art, music, and social emotional learning. All of these standards have been updated by the state since 2016, so it was important to update our report cards to reflect the content and the skills that are actually being taught in the classrooms. And also, the Caminos program has a report card that is formatted to also include Spanish language arts. A standards-based report card uses the data that a teacher is collecting for each student to describe that student's progress towards mastery of grade level standards and expectations. And when we talk about mastering a standard, we are referring to end of the year expectations. So, for example, a second grade student would be expected to master second grade standards by the end of the second grade year. This is the key. This is the grading system that parents will see on the report card. So next to each standard, you will see an M, an O, a T, or a B. M is the blue, which is meeting the standard. Mostly we would hope to see this at the end of the year. A student at the end of the year that is meeting the standard is performing on a particular area where they should be at the end of their grade level would be meeting the standard. Right now in trimester one, a student who is on track to meeting the standard, meaning they're meeting the benchmarks and performing as expected at their grade level, to meet that standard at the end of the year, would see a green O. If a student is working toward the standard but is not quite at that point where we would expect a student to be at this point in the year for trimester one, they will have a yellow T. And a student who's working below the standard, meaning they are not yet accessing the grade level content or skills because they're working on some prerequisite knowledge or skills, or they are not yet demonstrating understanding, would have a red B. And any standards that are not taught and assessed in trimester one will just have a gray box. Here is an example of a math section of the report card. And you can see that it's broken down by standard. So we can really see how a student is doing not just overall in math, but with each different concept and skill that is being taught. So in some cases, they are exactly where they're expected to be for trimester one, but there are a few areas where we're looking to see some growth and improvement. And that would be indicated by the yellow and the red. Those are areas that the student will be working on to demonstrate growth for the next trimester. Here is an example of a section that is completed for both trimester one and two. So here's where you can see a student's progress. For this standard in the top row, you can see that a student went from working towards the standard to being on track in trimester two. So we can see that there has been growth. We can see for these two standards that are both yellow that the student is still working towards the standard, so they haven't quite made the growth that is needed to be on track to meeting the standard. And in this case, where there are two standards in trimester two that are still an area the student is working on, the teacher has selected a goal for the parent to give them an idea of something the student can work on at home to support what they're doing in school to focus on these standards. So identifies main topics and key details of a text, and a goal for at home would be to answer questions in response to reading. This is a suggestion for parents. Here is an example of what the Caminos formatted report card looks like with both the English language arts grades and the Spanish language arts grades. Another key feature of the standards-based report card are comments and goals that will be included in both English and Spanish for all students. Each trimester, there will be a comment for attitude, work habits, and effort, as well as a comment from one of the specialist teachers, the art, music, physical education, or science teachers. And then each trimester, there will also be two goals that the teacher has selected as something that the student should be working on or can be working on at home to support their growth moving into trimester two. Please reach out to your child's teacher, your school's family liaison, or your principal if you have any specific concerns or questions about your child's report card or their progress reports